What's going on, everybody? Taylor Cramer, host of the Cold Shower podcast, and I guess I'm doing videos now. A YouTube channel and YouTube videos are something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I think YouTube is awesome because, for me personally, I actually go to YouTube and pull that up more than I pull up like Netflix or Hulu or any of those other things because I just like seeing the creativity of the people that are putting videos up, the wide variety of topics, and just how unique each style is. So I'm going to be developing my own style as I'm teaching myself how to edit videos, get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera as opposed to just behind the microphone with the podcast. So I thought for my first video, as I take a drink, if you haven't had this, it's pretty good. So what I wanted to do, as today I was revisiting like the very first intro episode that I ever did for my podcast, I thought that it would be appropriate to revisit some of those ideas for those of you that maybe haven't listened. And it can give you a good idea, because it did for me, of how much things have changed, but also how much they've stayed the same with the whole mission behind the podcast, as well as some of the other ways that I'm hoping to get my message out. Really, as it said in the intro, facilitating beneficial conversation. Like, that's what I consider my job to be. So the beneficial conversations that we're having, or that I'm having with a variety of guests that I bring in, are to help listeners. So that can either help by just sharing cool stories, cool experiences, and pulling those out of the guest, or by actually visiting challenging and uncomfortable topics. So examples of that would be the fact that I've interviewed people where all we talked about was trauma and grief and things like that. And then I've also interviewed people that maybe there didn't seem to be a theme at the beginning, but they had a cool experience, like sailing across the Atlantic Ocean and back. Facilitating beneficial conversation that I think leads to listeners' personal growth has been what has become really clear and what I'm supposed to be doing with the podcast. And like I said, that's either through specific topics or it's through sharing cool stories of other people. And the personal growth has really come to the forefront. I think that was actually a term that I tried to avoid at the beginning, because to me, there's a lot of watered down personal growth assistance or help out there. And I didn't want to get lumped in with that. But then I've realized that I can adopt that term, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. And how I've decided to approach that is to give people the chance to personally grow by consuming the content that Cold Shower is creating. And that's kind of my lane. That's my avenue right now. How I do that is I try to present the topics, like I said, and remove people from their echo chambers. And always hearing the same things, the same opinions, the same ideas from the same people, and never really being challenged. And that moves us into this other term that I've adopted, which is choosing growth. So personal growth, physical growth, whatever it might be, we usually have to choose to do that. Society doesn't really care whether we become a better person or not. As long as we're consuming and paying our taxes, society is cool with whatever type of person we want to be, other than breaking the law. I don't want to be the same person. And I don't want you guys to be the same people either. And so we need to choose growth. We need to wake up each day and ask ourselves, how can we improve a little bit? And that isn't a very comfortable thing to ask ourselves. It's really easy to get stuck in a routine, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV. And sometimes that's okay. But usually it's not. Not if we want to be a better friend, a better husband, a better son, a better daughter. Then we have to decide to grow and to obtain personal growth. And so that has really become clear with the podcast, and the messaging behind that is inviting people to accept the challenge of being different and growing and improving each and every day, but also realizing, like, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and sometimes we're going to regress, we're going to backtrack, but then we need to get back to it and learn from our mistakes and become the person that I think we're all meant to be. I wanted to kind of share that stuff with you guys in this video, but I also want to talk a little bit about what my hopes are for my YouTube channel. So I want to kind of present some lifestyle things because I always find that interesting when I see people that I respect or that I've come to know through their YouTube channel, of what they're up to. So whether that's different adventures that they're taking, what their routines are, what their relationships are like, people that they're meeting, the tasks that they're doing, how they're accomplishing things. And that's what I hope to do with this podcast or with this YouTube channel. I'm still stuck on podcasts. Is to really show you guys a bit more of who I am and also show you guys some of the people that I'm collaborating with or that I'm working with. So maybe recording on YouTube, the actual podcast interviews, or when we're collaborating on an event or a project, and then kind of giving you guys an inside look at some of that stuff. Also, speak of the devil, here he comes, my dog. Probably gonna put him on a lot of videos. He's a cutie. Hey, bud, come here. It was right on time. Look at that. Mwah. So anyway, you guys can expect a variety of things from this channel, and I hope that you enjoy it. All right. As for now, jump in. The water's cold.